A very good evening. Much thanks for joining us here on the program. The day is March 9th. And exactly 5 years ago, former President Uhuru Kenyatta and Azimio leader Raila Odinga had the famous handshake. And 5 years on, today, then there is a new revelation. The commencement official of the demonstrations countrywide by the Azimio Brigade. We have that and so much more lined up for you today. But before we get into that, here are our top stories.
Take note that on 20th March of 2023, we have a date with destiny in Nairobi.
Tonight on Lookup News, Azimio officially declares mass action against Ruto's administration as Interior Cabinet Secretary Kindiki fires warning. The security operation has so far obtained 140 weapons in the North Rift.
We are not going to spare anybody who is selling drugs, counterfeit beer, or any type of illicit drinks to members of public.
And notorious illicit brewer arrested in Kiambu County. Once more, thank you so much for joining us here on the broadcast. I am Nelima, and our sign language interpreter for tonight is Felista Adundo. The hashtag is Lookup News, and do let us know where you're watching us from at Lookuptv on Twitter, Lookuptv on Facebook, and Lookuptv on our YouTube channel. We begin after the 14-day ultimatum to President William Ruto elapsed. Azimio leader Raila Odinga has declared the start of nationwide mass action to protest against the government. Raila and his Azimio Brigade say President Ruto has ignored the plight of Kenyans, including high cost of living, increased taxes, and the lifting of ban imposed on GMO products. And as a reporter Henry Tendon filed, Mr. Odinga has announced that there will be a mega procession in Nairobi on the 20th of this month to pile pressure on President Ruto to address their demands.
Get up, stand up for your right.
At the lapse of a 14-day ultimatum issued against President William Ruto's regime, opposition coalition Azimio through their leader Raila Odinga has declared the official start of nationwide mass action, accusing the government of ignoring the suffering of Kenyans.
Kenya is ripe for a people's movement for the defense of democracy. And the process begins today, here and now. Ruto must go. We launch a campaign of defiance of peaceful picketing, peaceful protests, boycotts, strikes, disobedience, peaceful petitions, peaceful sit-ins, and peaceful demonstrations, and it begins today and now.
Raila has also cautioned that on 20th of this month, there will be a mega procession in Nairobi as he leads Kenyans to demand action from the government.
Take note that on the 20th of March 2023, you have a date with destiny in Nairobi. I repeat, take note that on 20th March of 2023, we have a date with destiny in Nairobi. On that day, our supporters throughout the country shall stage a massive procession in Nairobi for a legitimate and inclusive government. Save that date.
The coalition has listed 14 demands it says form the basis of their protests. Among the demands the coalition want addressed include the rising cost of living, accusing the government of embezzlement of resources. They are also demanding a reduction in taxes, which they say has frustrated business environment in the country. The Azimio team are also aggrieved that the government lifted the ban on GMO, allowing the product in the country. The opposition outfit is also crying foul that President William Ruto has initiated the reconstitution of IEBC without involving all stakeholders. Azimio maintain this is a plan to rig the 2027 general election.
Begin telling Ruto and Gachagua that we have no more patience with an illegitimate regime that is too mean-spirited and too incompetent to deploy resources for an all-out war on poverty and suffering of our people. We have no more patience for an illegitimate regime of hypocrites and fake humanitarianism. We begin telling Ruto and Gachagua that we can't keep living on false promises. We begin telling Ruto and Gachagua our clear understanding that when we keep taking painkillers long enough, they will cease killing the pain.
Already, Kisumu Deputy Governor Matthews Owili says the county will embark on mass action tomorrow following this announcement.
It will be going out to engage in a peaceful demonstration, a massive peaceful demonstration to force out the illegitimate president.
Henry Tende, Lookuptv.
Thank you, Tende, for that report. And staying on the demonstrations, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has warned Azimio supporters against attempts to forcefully access security offices. As our reporter Shadrach Kareria files, Kindiki stated that any Kenyan who attempts to threaten security offices will be dealt with. Kindiki warning comes amidst Azimio's protest alert.
To say, Honorable Speaker,
compared to the previous standing orders that saw cabinet secretaries only appear before departmental committees for questioning, the CSS will now appear before the entire House after Ugenya MP David Ochieng's proposal to amend the standing orders was approved.
That this House adopts the 6th report of the Procedure and House Rules Committee on the amendments to the standing orders laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 8th March 2023, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 124(1) of the Constitution and Standing Order 265, 1 approves the proposed amendments to the standing orders as contained in Annex 3 of the report. 2 resolves that the amendments agreed to in the Committee of the Whole House and approved by the House shall take effect on Thursday, the 23rd March 2023. And 3 further resolves that the questions pending reply as at the commencement date shall be disposed of by the respective committees. Honorable members, will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
While seconding the proposal, Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah insisted that the amendment was a step in the right direction in ensuring accountability with various ministries.
Honorable Speaker, we now have a government that is not afraid to be accountable.
Apologies for that mix-up. I'll take that story about the demonstrations again. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has warned the Azimio supporters against attempts to forcefully access security offices. As our reporter Shadrach Kareria files, Kindiki stated that any Kenyan who attempts to threaten security offices will be dealt with.
As political temperatures continues to rise in the country, especially after demos called by the Azimio party leader Raila Odinga, the Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki was the first to respond to Odinga's directions. Speaking at Harambee House in Nairobi, the Interior CS sounded a warning to anyone who may have intention of forcibly accessing security offices, stating that any individual will be dealt with properly.
Who even attempts to illegally, unlawfully, and in an unauthorized manner access a security establishment in any security facility, that person will be dealt with ruthlessly, firmly, and decisively. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter their political affiliation.
The CS also made it clear that the government will not hesitate to take action against any member of political class who will threaten security personnel.
Any person, regardless of their rank in society, or intimidate officers on duty will be dealt with firmly, ruthlessly, and decisively in accordance with the law.
Kindiki defended the government on the former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i's tribulations, maintaining that the government is acting in accordance with the rule of law.
I confirm to the country that the entire investigation process in this matter has been carried out with utmost professionalism. The drama by rowdy people who claimed to be his supporters converged at this security facility and caused a commotion. Some politicians, ostensibly going to provide political solidarity to Dr. Matiang'i, caused disturbances, including threats to mobilize.
Kindiki outlined government commitment on ending cattle rustling in the North Rift.
I can confirm to the country that we will get to the root of this problem of heartless murders by bloodthirsty terrorists posing as cattle thieves.
Shedrack Kareria, Lookuptv.
And away from that, and in Parliament, Cabinet Secretaries will now be expected to appear before the entire House for questioning, as opposed to appearing before the departmental committees after MPs made amendments to the House standing orders. Ian Keitani with more on that story.
To say, Honorable Speaker,
compared to the previous standing orders that saw Cabinet Secretaries only appear before departmental committees for questioning, the CSS will now appear before the entire House after Ugenya MP David Ochieng's proposal to amend the standing orders was approved.
That this House adopts the 6th report of the Procedure and House Rules Committee on the amendments to the standing orders laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 8th March 2023, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 124(1) of the Constitution and Standing Order 265, 1 approves the proposed amendments to the standing orders as contained in Annex 3 of the report. 2 resolves that the amendments agreed to in the Committee of the Whole House and approved by the House shall take effect on Thursday, the 23rd March 2023. And 3 further resolves that the questions pending reply as at the commencement date shall be disposed of by the respective committees. Honorable members, will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
While seconding the proposal, Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah insisted that the amendment was a step in the right direction in ensuring accountability with various ministries.
Honorable Speaker, we now have a government that is not afraid to be accountable to the people's representatives and accountable to the people of Kenya. And that is why these proposals have support even from the executive, because we have an executive now that intends and has told the people of Kenya they intend to be accountable to the people of Kenya. And they have no fear to appear before the House and to answer to questions that have been raised by members of the committee, members of the House, either to cabinet secretaries on issues that pertain to the welfare of the people we represent.
The Movement for Democracy and Growth MP also proposed that the MPs be appearing before the House and be given 3 hours to reply to questions by members of the House, with the proposal also approved by the House.
The idea here is just to ensure that on Wednesdays of every week, we have time between 2:30 or just after 4 p.m., 9 p.m. So the amendment just to enable the Speaker of the day to extend the times of sitting to accommodate the coming into the House of the Cabinet Secretaries, Madam Speaker.
I now put the question that amendments to Standing Order number 30 be now approved. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
In the amendments, the Cabinet Secretaries will also be expected to provide physical and electronic copies of replies to queries from members a day before appearing in the House.
This is largely about the manner of disposal of the questions, in terms of the Cabinet Secretary being able to provide physical and electronic copies of a reply to a question, alongside coming to answer the question on the floor of the House.
I now put the question that the amendments to Standing Order 42C be now approved. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of that opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Ian Keitani, Lookuptv.
Thank you, Keitani, for that report. Now, a fortnight after Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua ordered a crackdown on increased abuse of hard drugs and illicit brews in Kiambaa, especially Rocketown, police have managed to recover counterfeit drugs and brews worth over 1.6 million. Gladys Masharia with that report.
A fortnight after an order crackdown on increased abuse of hard drugs and illicit brews in Kiambaa, especially in Rocketown, by the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, counterfeit drugs like bang and illicit brews worth 1.6 million were recovered by the police. In the operation conducted by a multi-agency team consisting of local administration who teamed up with the county security officials, over 20 aliens from various nationalities were arrested during the operation.
Including jump-wise, also changa, as you can see here, methanol, and other counterfeits drinks. First of all, I want to thank this team for a job well done, and I want to encourage them to keep it up, and we ensure that we can get rid of these counterfeits from this area completely. Also, we are able to recover quite a number of drugs. That is 300 rolls of bangi, worth 150,000, 400 stems, worth 675,000. Another 20 kilograms of bangi worth 900,000, another 300 grams worth 22,500 shillings.
Kiambu County Commander Pamina Skloy confirmed the outcome of the operation. However, the law officers have expressed their dissatisfaction over how the courts have been handling the matters in question, with those arrested, especially the notorious one, getting lenient sentence, thereby continuing with their illegal activities with no qualms. Now the big question that begs an answer is, will Deputy Gachagua move on to eradicate sale of illicit bear fruit? Gladys Masharia, Lookuptv.
President William Ruto has mourned Mama Grace Onyango, the first female mayor of Kisumu and first woman member of parliament in Kenya, as a trailblazer who opened the door for the participation of women political leadership. Grace Onyango, at 98, died Wednesday evening while receiving treatment at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital in Kisumu. Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Raila Odinga has also eulogized a former legislator's appeal of women's leadership. And we are taking a very short break here on the program, but do let us know what your thoughts are, and of course how you remember Grace Onyango. Remember, she was the first woman to be elected in Parliament, which is in Kisumu, as a member of Parliament in 1969. And just coming on the day she passed on yesterday, which was International Women's Day, and of course being celebrated by different leaders. What are your thoughts on her legacy? And of course, just the opportunities that she created for other women as well. Do let us know using the hashtag #LookUpNews at Lookuptv on Twitter, Lookuptv on Facebook, and Lookuptv on our YouTube channel. We are taking that break. Don't go too far.
Mita instant na Lotto. Draws ni 24 daily, yani kila saa na 50 bob unashinda zaidi ya shilingi milioni 1. Sio ndoto, unangoja nini? Cheza Lotto, it could be you. Nenda kwa M-Pesa paybill number 77700. Andika neno Look kama account number. Cheza na kati ya shilingi 50 hadi shilingi 2,000 na ushinde sasa. Round hii ni more draws, more cash and big wins na Lotto.
Over 18s only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. This message has been approved by the BCLB.
They say that art is the journey of a free soul.
When his fingers meet the canvas, there is an explosion of art.
Make sure it does not spread.
Through life experiences, nature's inspiration, and a reflection of what happens in society. Alex Kamanjiri, not your ordinary artist, uses beads to create beautiful pieces. His aspiration to one day own the world's biggest gallery. But the journey is not without challenges.
Doing art is, I can say it's a risk to some extent, because you never know. You never know if you're going to earn from it or not.
Beaded art, this Sunday at 9 p.m. only on Lookuptv.
Are you a junior secondary school, a college, a TVET institution or a university and you want to advertise your intake? Book now and advertise with us today on both Lookuptv and all our digital platforms. Call us today on 011 0430 158, 011 0430 158 or email us on sales@lookuptv.co.ke.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with Lookuptv. This is Lookup News. I'm Nancy Nelima. Our sign language interpreter is Felista Adundo. Let's now talk about the the election petitions. 2022 Wajir County gubernatorial candidate Hassan Adam on Wednesday declared that he will be moving to the Court of Appeal to challenge the verdict of the High Court, which upheld the victory of Ahmed Abdullahi as Wajir County governor. Hassan claims the elections were bungled in 3 constituencies where he enjoys massive support, and that includes Eldas, Wajir West and Wajir East.
On Friday, 3rd of March, the High Court issued its verdict on our petition challenging the election of Ahmed Abdullahi as the governor of Wajir. Unfortunately, the court upheld the declaration of the governor by the Independent Electoral Commission, IEBC. We are dissatisfied by this decision and want to take this opportunity to announce that we shall move to the Court of Appeal to challenge this verdict. Our decision to appeal is informed by our belief and the evidence and the material fact that the elections were bungled in most of the constituencies in Wajir.
Away from that, a geothermal development company, GDC employees have issued a strike notice due to unresolved issues with their employer, including non-remittance of statutory reductions. Take a look.
More than 1,000 workers under the Kenya Electrical Traders and Allied Workers (KETAO) have decried delays in payment of salaries, non-remittances of statutory reductions and check-off payments. According to the union, the employees have continued to attract high penalty charges, hence affecting members psychologically and financially.
GTC has been facing serious challenges, financial challenges stemming from a very rogue contractor called Lantec. Lantec has made sure that they have closed GDC accounts and hence GDC cannot operate.
Aibu kubwa, semeni aibu kubwa. Aibu kubwa. Kwa watu kama GDC account kufungwa, stima sako sasa ukienda, watu wamepanga laini, watu wanalia, watu wa GDC. Hawajui hawajalipa manyumba, hawajui hata shule hawajalipa school fees kwa sababu account imefanywa nini? Amefungwa. Na sisi kama KETAO hatutakubali.
The employees have declared continuous deductions of pension, NHIF and NSSF, which they say are not being transferred to the relevant SACCOs and banks.
Staff who are here, most of them have not earned their salary for this month. Because, number one, the accounts at Stima Sacco are closed due to delayed remittance of those deductions. Yes. Number two, we know pension, NHIF and other SACCO deductions have not been paid because of a court order of this rogue contractor.
The employees are calling for a probe into the activities of key departments within the company.
We are in solidarity with GDC. We know when GDC fails, we have failed.
They are generating, we are distributing. And since they started doing kutoa stima, they have never generated anything, which means the cartels have been doing those things for a very long time.
Na kama kuna hiyo, nimesikia munaita siji Lantex siji nani huyo, tumempea notisi, angalie. Hata mimi na Eko kenye katibu mwenzangu amesema, najua General Secretary wetu Anes Nadome, najua tunakupenda, umesikia kilio na nafurahi ulianza kilio mbele. Sasa umeturudishia mashinani. Tafadhali tunaamini hii siku 14 utupe uongozo, tupambane na hii watu. Ukitaka tutembee, tutafanya nini? Tutatembea.
The union at the same time is calling on the office of the DCI to investigate the protracted crime that has bedeviled the organization. Cecilia Lubanga, Lookuptv.
Now, the Chota Kuchota promotion under Haiti Supermarket came to an end in Kisumu Dollar Branch as the overall winner in Kisumu County, Helen Atieno, was handed over her new Nissan Daihatsu. Phoebe Wangombe now reports.
Sana kuruka ndio imenishinda, mwili imekata. Ningeruka kabisa, imefanyika leo. Hizi zote ni juu ya Mungu, sisi binadamu hatuwezi. Lakini nani kama mimi leo? Leo ni siku ya wamama. Lakini mimi ni mama mwenyewe, nimeshinda gari, napewa gari leo. Hii yote inafanyika juu ya Mwenyezi Mungu.
Mkabidhi mshindi wetu ambaye alishinda kwa mashindano ya Chota Kuchota ambayo ilianza November last year, na tukafanya draw tarehe 12 hapa Kisumu. Na wakati tufanya draw tulikuwa na branch mbili, na hii branch ya Dala ndio mshindi alipatikana.
Sisi tunatumia KTS kama route to market of our brands. So normally KTS is a very supportive partner into Western region because they are the key clients that we have in the Western region. So we decided to onboard in the sponsoring of the promotion so that we are part and parcel of giving back to the partner or to our route to market. So we have jointly
Time for us to get sporty. The golf industry is growing rapidly in Kenya, recording high numbers of enrollment from the youth. David Water, director of the East Africa Cricket, is set to advance the golf industry worldwide through the Melbourne cricket community. Robert Chacha caught up with him at Windsor Golf Classic, and here is the interview.
I want to promote Kenya as a destination for overseas visitors. I have my own sporting tour company, and obviously it's in my interest to promote Kenya as a destination. But more than that, this is an untapped market for Kenya. Our tourism industry is pretty sophisticated. We have wonderful beaches and wildlife parks and mountains and all the things that create for Kenya as a sort of a unique destination. But as you know, because here it is, we have an incredible